From Atlanta,
where many future dead shows are filmed.
It's the 9 Billion Names of Pod with Dan Bauman and Michael Reed. I'm Dan Bauman.
I'm holding the door.
So let's talk about some stuff.
Hold the door.
That one was renewed. What are you talking about?
Hold the door.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so traumatized that all I can say is hold the door.
Yeah, but no spoilers here.
Nope. It's a plot twist from an episode of Peaky Blinders where they have the newfangled elevators,
Which is evidently a real show.
Yeah, I've only heard about it recently, looked it up, and said, all right, looks like shenanigans after World War I in England. Oh, no, Birmingham or Manchester.
Is it?
Yeah, but just the name Peaky Blinders said, I don't know what this is, but I have a feeling it is going to be awesome. And I think it just got renewed for season 2 or series 2 or 3 over there.
Oh, okay.
So that show is very much alive. We're going the opposite direction.
Right.
We're going to talk about the recently deceased.
Yes, the ones that, because all the upfronts were recently, and we found out who made it and who got the thumbs down.
Now, so some of them were obvious. Some of them were mercy killings, in my opinion.
Without a doubt.
Just, even shows that I liked, at a certain point, you're like, I just, no.
Right.
Just stop it, A case in point, Castle.
Yeah.
I love me some Castle. Deft and witty writing. It just got to the point where just bollocks. I just got sick of it.
Well, did it I didn't watch it religiously. I watched a handful because I'm a Phillian fan. And so did it just become a Sam and Diane thing where it was...
No. I mean, the relationship between Castle and...
Beckett,
yeah. Stana Kodik's character. Kodik? Anyway. It progressed.
Uh-huh.
The flirtation, the dating, the marriage, the this, the that. So they didn't... They avoided the problem like, well, now they've slept together and now the show will suck. No, it didn't. But at a certain point, it became the murder of the week type stuff.
Yeah. And
every once in a while, they'd throw in a little something about the conspiracy involving the murder of Beckett's mother.
Oh.
And at a certain point, I'm just like, why are you doing this? You're alienating, It just got old, and I was... basically, I had already made the decision. If it was going to go to season 9, I wasn't going to watch. I was just over it. And then the announcement came that that Beckett would not be, Stana Kodik.
Yeah.
She said, I'm moving on. And there's rumors that she didn't get along with Nathan on the set. I have no idea.
That's hard to believe.
I can't... Well, who knows? He's a nice guy, but maybe he's a monster on the set. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who
or
knows?
they just, they just didn't.
Or they just feel the same way a lot of the watchers did and just went, oh, enough of this already.
Well, it's rare in at least American television that anything going past season 5 is...
And keep in mind, over in England... Season 5 means at the most you're at maybe episode 50.
Yeah.
Over here at 22 and some change per season, you're cracking 100 at that point.
Yeah.
And, I'm not an actor, but doing the same thing over and over and over again, once you get to know your character that well, you inhabit it, it starts to become an old suit that you just want to change up for something else.
In the old paradigm, when it was 20 episodes a season, 100 was the magic syndication number.
Right. That's lower now.
It's 80. It's 80, and you got more. So you get there season 3 season 4. By the middle of season 4.
But there are some shows even on broadcast where they're rolling 13 and out. So they're starting to realize that quality is more important than quantity, and they have to balance that between, we want to get to that syndication because that's when everyone gets a major payday.
Yes.
The first 2-3 years on a show, you're practically losing money. Mm-hmm. Overall, obviously the actor's getting paid and, the TV, the advertiser revenue is coming in, but you've got all the upfront costs, the sets, development, blah, blah, blah. So by the time you hit season 3, you're ready for that syndication payoff in seasons 4 or 5.
Right.
And then at that point, you're just stacking money on top of money. So like, hey, they want us for season 6. Let's do it. 7, go. 8. My God, I can afford my own planet. And and at a certain point, people just go, this is in the days of Gunsmoke when a show can run for 20 plus years and do well the whole time. Of course, back then there was 3 channels and that's it.
Yeah, 10 shows. That
yeah,
were
exactly.
on.
So everyone got to know and love with, it was like a member of the family. Now, I mean, good grief, between the broadcast networks, the cable networks, and then the streaming online networks that are doing work that is equal to what HBO, Showtime, what anyone's doing.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
And network television is so almost disposable. The quality just dips so fast that I mean, season 5, it's almost, most shows are just unbearable at that point. They got nothing left.
It depends. I mean, in the case of The Simpsons, a show that has gone on, I mean, good God, when it started, it was the 80s. It started in the 80s. Yeah. Of course, it was 89, but in the 80s.
Yeah.
And it cycles up and down because they change out the writing crew.
Well, here's the difference, though. It's animated, so people aren't aging out.
Correct. Well, and even with the Voice Town, there's been like, you're making how much money and you're still paying us $5,000.
Yeah, Harry Shearer was out.
Yeah. Yep.
I've heard a lot of interviews with him, and he is kind of a dick, unfortunately, which breaks my heart. But he wasn't wrong. He was like, you can't do that. You're making billions and billions of dollars on the show. You can't do it without.
Throw me a couple more bones there. Make it worth my while.
Right. It's not a hard job, Harry. It's not. It ain't real hard to go into a booth for 3 hours a week and make millions of dollars.
Well, it depends on how they're doing it. It could be 2 weeks of work a year, and that's it. I mean, I don't know what their production schedule is. It's
something like that.
The animation takes a long time, but they usually have to record the dialogue prior to animating.
Yeah.
So, but if you're a creative type, doing the same exact thing over and over just sucks the life out of you. Now, there's ways you can change it up and make it interesting, and new writing teams coming in. I mean, The Simpsons, let's face it, the first 3 to 5 seasons were just chock-a-block with classic episodes.
Yeah.
And it's been few and far between, but it's never been horrible for me. Like,
it's always The Simpsons. It's always great, and there's some always great laughs.
Right. Kind of like Red Dwarf keeps, coming back.
Yeah, they're coming back again.
I'm coming back again. And, that cat better have 27 lives because, yowza. But yeah, I'm very happy that Castle ended. The way they ended it, I'm not going to spoil anything. It was perfect until the last 30 seconds, and then they fucked it.
Really?
Yep. They went for the kind of ending that I hate. That just no.
All right.
So that's my opinion of Castle. Right. I mean, I hate the tidy up, happy ending bullshit.
Okay.
I fucking hate it.
Well, for a show like that, it kind of, it seems fit right, but I didn't see it, so.
Now, see, if they had if they had truncated the last 30 seconds, they could have come back with a Castle TV movie in 10 years, like they did with, what's that one with Fred Dreyer?
Hunter,
yeah. Where like they come back with like a TV movie, it's like Fillion and Kotick back together again. It's Castle. What happens now, or how did they survive this? And
the 9 Billion Names of Pod, the only show making Hunter references.
Yes, and that's why we're
right.
That's why we're a number.
I don't know what's scarier, that you brought it up or that I knew what you were talking about.
Yes, exactly. He came back and did a couple TV movies, and people were like, "Yeah, that's fun."
Yeah,
So, but they, of course, they left it to where they could still come back and do something more.
My only thumbs, or the thing I'm happiest about, is it frees up Fillion to do some other things.
Dr. Horrible 2.
He's almost aging out, but he's got to get into the DC universe. He wants to do either
Booster Gold,
Booster and Beetle. Booster with him and Alan Tudyk. I mean, home run. It would be Con Man, which was Alan Tudyk's web series. It would be the same thing, but it would be perfect casting.
I'm going to pretend I know what that is, so because I'm not a comics person.
Yeah.
But what's a show that has gone by the wayside that
The one that broke my heart, the biggest one, was the Muppets.
Oh yeah.
I understood it didn't get ratings, and I understood people had issue with it.
Disney owns ABC.
What?
You're fucking your own property.
And it was brilliantly funny.
It's not the same.
No.
It didn't have Vincent Price on there doing old vaudeville tunes. Like, he's fucking dead. And so was that format.
Yeah.
Look,
I could have got behind that, though. If they were going to do the variety show again, I would have been totally fine
it would have been more of a nostalgic. I thought they brought it current. They made current jokes.
Yeah.
And that did the typical, works on two level. Kids are watching. They can laugh at one part of it, and the other part, the adults can laugh at it.
And they reinvigorated a 40-year-old property,
Yep.
or more so, I should even say.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the way they modernized it and the way they brought it back I thought it was brilliant. And I thought it was funny. The writing was great. And yeah, okay, it was weird. Kermit had another girlfriend and it was another pig. And, but it was just a story.
pigs.
Yeah, it was just a story. And
Aren't we all?
yeah.
Oh, gosh. Notice they kind of... she wasn't very much a plot point for too long in that. She kind of dipped in a little bit in the first three and then kind of was...
She was in and out here and there, but I mean, obviously they wanted to get Kermit and Piggy back together.
Of course.
Just because that's the classic.
Well, that was how they promoted the show. Piggy and Kermit broke up. That's the buzz they created before the show. Genius marketing.
Brilliant.
Absolute genius. And apparently they went on a little mini hiatus there. They were off for a month and they came back a little bit retooled. And... it was fine. It was still good.
It wasn't any different, I thought.
I don't know.
I wish they would have given it a chance. I don't know why or how they could.
Well, it's a Disney property on a Disney network. You would think that they would try. This is a property that they bought years ago that they've done basically fuck all with.
They did 2 movies,
but in the amount of time they've owned the property,
True.
They have not been. They got right on Star Wars, they got
on
right on Marvel,
yeah.
and just started humping them out every 5 seconds, and kept the quality up. And they went, "Oh, we did 13 Muppet shows, and I guess it didn't do
that's
too
the
well."
thing.
Bye.
Disney did pretty well this last year, money wise.
Yes.
Only every movie they put out made $1 billion. You would think it's like, we'll give it another 13.
This is a jewel in our crown, in the Disney crown. Let's
let it get to where it needs to be. Don't kill it.
And that breaks my heart, because if a network owned by Disney with a property owned by Disney won't give its own thing a chance, then what
chance does anybody else have for
anybody?
anything?
It seems like it's the whim of some broadcast CEO who goes, "Yeah, we'll give it a second season. Could be good, man." And like that's it. Like it's on the fence. Like, it didn't do too well, but so many classic shows you hear that, like the one I always bring up, Seinfeld.
That's what everybody is.
First, it just didn't do it, and then it becomes the most classic sitcom of the last 20, 30 years, and makes everyone a shit ton of money because they had the patience to let the show develop and gel. It's like you don't eat the cookie as soon as it comes out of the oven. You get burned. You wait till it cools down a bit, let it congeal, let it get its shit together, and then chomp chomp.
And if you look at any of those classic shows, even like The Simpsons and anything that ran for 10 years plus.
Oh god, that crappy animation in the first season of The Simpsons.
The first 2 seasons of anything is not great. It's always season 3, they hit their stride and they've got it figured out. But you've got to give it that time to figure itself out.
You got to let the series get to its empire.
And the scariest thing about that, thinking about it, is if Disney's just going to get too big for itself to where if it doesn't make $1 billion, they're not going to let anything go. And then it's just going to be worse and worse crap that I don't know. I don't know.
This is why
disheartening.
With the Muppets, of course, I watched from episode 1 because holy shit, it's the Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
But other properties, I keep an eye on and go, the DVDs, the streaming will be out there. I'm not going to get my heart sunk into a show only to have it, not make $1 trillion and get 47 Emmys. Not that Emmys make any difference because they still canceled Arrested Development, after all its Emmys, it's the money, it's the ratings. That's all it is.
And I think part of that is the streaming. Like, they have to make, they need ratings to make that money to keep stuff going, because the streaming services are killing them.
This is something, we're in the middle of a changeover in how ad dollars are spent, where they're spent, and how ratings are tabulated. It used to be like a 3-day window after first airing, where they would do the initial numbers, and then you'd get the updated numbers once the streaming and the DVR stuff comes in. Now they're opening that up. A lot of networks are trying to go directly with streaming to the customer and bypass these middle things like Hulu and stuff like. Now, obviously, NBC owns or has a large stake in Hulu.
Yeah, but like that CBS Plus thing.
Right. So there's things are being shaken up right now, and one of the things that has happened, and that is going to happen a lot more, and we're at fault for it, both of us, but just us, nobody else.
Sorry, everybody.
Is because of fast forwarding commercials. Product placements are through the roof.
Yeah.
If you've noticed, like, wow, they're really holding that can at a weird angle. Product, and if it's done very smartly, I have no problem with it.
Right.
But if my brain goes, what did it? Oh, product placement. You've just taken me out of the story.
There was the worst I've ever seen was we used to watch that show Bones, another show that went far past it. It's
never watched an episode.
There was some great stuff.
Oh no, that's Bones. I was thinking of what's the one with the grouchy doctor? House.
Oh, House.
That's it. Didn't watch that one either.
House was great. We dropped off a few seasons before the end, but Bones. I always complained about Bones. I always said there are 5 writers. 3 of them are okay. One of them is amazing, and one of them is god awful, because every 5th episode was fucking terrible, and then they would have ones that were just unparalleled brilliant. But their product placements were so ham-fisted, beat you over the head. Literally, like, they'd be going, they'd be in the middle of the story heading to a crime scene, and like, oh yeah, this is my new Ford blah 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 with the so-and-so camera and the parking assist. I just let it do it itself. Just literally a commercial, not even trying.
Wow.
I mean, you want to talk about being pulled out of a show, it's like they're doing a commercial.
That's pulled out of the show angry. Like,
angry.
I'm out of the show, and fuck you for doing that.
That was being kicked in the balls and shoved out of the show,
exactly.
is what it was.
And that's where I have the problem.
Yeah.
I got no problem with product placement. Make the money any way you can to keep the show up and the quality.
But at least be smart about it.
Yeah. Well, my guess is that just showing a can of Coke gets you one level.
Yeah.
Show the lead character drinking the Coke. That's more money. Have them talking about the Coke in the script. Oh, that's more money.
Yeah.
And if you rattle off all the features of the new, Toyota Yaris, then holy shit, that's even more money. So
the only time I ever thought it was really done well was that show Chuck. We watched every episode of that. A lot of fun. Loved it. Talk about a show chock-a-block with Easter eggs. So great. Really, really fun. They were on the bubble every season. It was like, nah, we may renew it. We may cancel. And they did I don't know if it was a write-in thing or it was like they hooked up with Subway sandwich shops. And like, if you bought this certain... go to Subway, buy this certain sandwich, and it'll send a message to the network. And it worked. They got a lot of things. So they were doing basically commercials for Subway and they had one character always like at his lunch hour doing, I'm eating the new Subway blah, blah, blah.
But it was tongue in cheek.
See,
I got no problem with that.
But you knew what they were doing.
I got no problem with that. I'm just talking like in the middle of like, oh my gosh, does this mean my daughter is dead? I better go to Happy Future's funeral home for my daughter's funeral. Exactly. I hear they have a great selection of caskets at the lowest prices. Like, fuck you.
I guess it's easier to do it in comedy.
Oh, of course it is.
Because you can, like, totally say, hey, we're doing a commercial for this thing, and isn't that funny? And it can work.
I can't think of a specific example right now, but there's been a number of times where 2 characters will be talking. They'll say something that's an obvious, like, either inside joke or a plug, and they'll both just turn and look at the camera
yeah.
And either they cut there or then they turn back and continue.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Love it because it's part of the flow of the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's just when you put it in there so freaking up. Music videos are doing that too. The rare 3 of them I see a year. Well, because I still want my MTV and I never get my MTV.
Yeah.
Except when Prince passes away.
Yeah.
Then you get all Prince videos. And then all of a sudden, a different video comes on there. Parents Just Don't Understand by Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. Somebody typed in Prince, execute, and it ran through their list
algorithm.
of it, and nobody curated it at all. Just in the middle of, you get Cream, you get Purple Rain, Parents Just Don't Understand, Let's Go Crazy. Like, what the fuck?
That's kind of funny in a way.
It's sad and tragic.
It's sad and tragic, but yeah.
I mean, let's talk about another show.
All right.
That I'm ashamed to say that I did watch a couple seasons at the beginning, just because a good friend of mine was an addict, and that was kind of our thing to do. We sit and catch up and watch this. American Idol.
Okay.
I think I watched the first 2 seasons. And it was, for me, the thing was the auditions where people were getting weird or telling their stories.
Yeah.
And, it had some appeal. I'm against all reality TV for the most part. The competition stuff sometimes is a little ham-fisted and a little But from what I understood, the ratings were that thing was just limping along.
Oh yeah.
And they finally just said, yeah, we're going to go ahead and pull the plug on American Idol.
Yeah.
But at one point, they were commanding like 5 of the top 10, single slots for this and that, and albums and tours, and from Justin to Kill. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, here's the other thing. I mean, name the last 5 American Idol winners. You can't.
No, of course not.
Because
I think I can name, Kelly Clarkson.
Yep.
Oh, and Jennifer Hudson, or maybe she wasn't even.
She didn't win.
Yeah,
she was kicked off.
She's phenomenal.
Yeah, she's got an Oscar.
Yeah,
that's the thing. A lot with that show. A lot of most of the runners up did way better than the winners.
It's kind of like getting that Best New Artist Grammy. It's like, oh, great, enjoy the next 6 months because after that you're going to be delegated to nothing.
With the exceptions of Kelly Clarkson and Carrie Underwood.
Oh yeah, the country.
Very few of the winners did anything.
Went on to have sustainable careers.
Yeah.
I mean, they released the first single and album by this person, and it would do respectably. Maybe the one after that, but by the third, if there even was a third, no one gave a shit. Yeah, Carrie Underwood did well.
But like the runners-up
and that Daughtry guy,
Chris Daughtry, who I saw live actually, and he was really good.
Yeah, he had some chops. But I don't know if he was a winner or not. He was a runner-up. But
he was a runner-up. Like Clay Aiken was the second runner-up, and he's got the way bigger career than the guy he beat.
He's like the new Barry Manilow.
Yeah. He cracked the code and figured it out.
Except Clay Aiken admitted that he's gay.
Yeah,
Barry just won't. But okay,
Yeah.
You started playing in the bathhouses with Bette Midler. I mean, okay, it's hey, good or bad, whatever, do your thing.
Yep.
So yeah, American Idol is gone, and I have absolutely no problem with that whatsoever because I hadn't watched for I don't know how long it was on, but
take off like 15 seasons, whatever that means.
Well, I know that there's a show that Mindy and I watch still. Which I guess is reality / competition, is Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
That's our thing.
Fine.
We'll get dinner, we'll sit and we'll chat, and we'll just kind of half pay attention and watch. And my favorite thing is when they first introduce the cast in the first episode, I find the most disgusting person, and that person is now her new boyfriend forever. So, yeah.
And it's easy to find disgusting people on
of course.
that show.
Oh, yeah. There's always some loudmouth, douchebag on there like, hey, there's your new boyfriend, So, the one that might be a little controversial, but I want to make a case for it, Border Town. Did you ever watch that?
No.
It was one of the shows that they threw into the Sunday animation mix. Hank Azaria is one of the main cast members
Okay.
on that. And basically it takes place in Mexifornia. So,
Okay.
so you know the general location, but it's not an actual place.
I think I saw ads for it, but I never did catch it.
Well, the basic concept is the main character, was it Burt Buchwald?
Okay.
He's a border agent, and he sits in a little glass booth, like him and maybe one other person, with like an arm stretched across, with nothing on the other side. So, I mean, it's just like in the middle of the desert. If anyone to get, you just walk around the arm, and you're like, no. And he's there to keep El Coyote from bringing in illegals.
Okay.
And you think, oh, this is going to be very touchy.
Yeah.
The thing is that the white guy is the idiot dumbass, and his neighbor, who is a Mexican immigrant who does, the traditional lawn stuff, he's the smart guy, the witty guy.
Yeah.
And some of the comedy in there is just subversively awesome. I mean, I really liked the show. It went to some weird, stupid places that really, but apparently it didn't do too well. So I'm bummed. I will probably get the DVD, probably single DVD. They only had like 13 episodes. Probably cram it on 2 discs.
And that was on, what was that on?
Fox.
Really?
Yeah, the Fox anime. They've been trying to throw a lot of stuff in on Sundays to try to catch some of the heat from Bob's Burgers and Simpsons and Family Guy. Another one they threw in there was a live action one called Cooper Barrett's Guide to Surviving Life.
I saw ads for that.
Yeah, which is kind of Pharisee.
It reeked of Ferris, Parker Lewis, and
Scrubs.
And what was the other one? There was another one with a long, lengthy title like that. What was it? There was another show like that, but
I don't know. And it was barely charming.
Okay.
It was okay,
Yeah.
It had 3 guys living together after college, I guess, and they're all kind of weird losers, and there's a hot girl down the hall, and will they or won't they, and
formulaic. It's
very formulaic. It had a little brushes with, I won't say genius, but being clever.
Yeah.
But when I heard that it was canceled, I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's not one I'll buy the box set for.
Right.
And it has the female, I believe, was the she was the ghost on
I know what you're going to say on the BBC show.
Yeah, but not on the American version.
What the hell was it called? The werewolf, the ghost, and the vampire.
Yeah.
Damn it! What was that called?
Sneaky Blinders. I don't know.
No. Yeah, it'll come.
Human. Almost Human.
Almost Human.
Yep,
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
No, Being Human.
Is it Being Human?
Yeah, Almost Human was the Android one.
Oh, that's right.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah, which was actually not that bad.
It was okay. I watched the first 3 of that and went,
We watched. I think we saw the whole what they put out. Carl Urban is great.
Oh yeah.
And Michael, I can't remember his name. The guy who played the android. He was fantastic. But it just, I think it was expensive and didn't get the ratings.
Yeah, well, same thing with Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah.
It's you think, wow, it's tied into this massive French fries. It'll do. Did I just say French fries?
French fries.
Sure. I'll be back after I put gravy on my French fries.
It was that product placement. Yeah.
There you go.
Buy French fries.
It's like, cha-ching. Thank you.
And that was it. The funny thing about that was, and this is just a weird tangent, was a weird connection, was the Sarah Connor Chronicles was Lena Headey.
And now she's on Game of Thrones.
And she's on Game of Thrones. But in the movie, it was Emilia Clarke.
Who is on Game of Thrones.
On Game of Thrones.
They have both played Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor, yeah.
In different...
That's pretty interesting.
I haven't seen the last Terminator.
I haven't either, and I heard it was...
well... They keep... I mean, Arnold... Just stop.
Yeah, let it go.
Just fucking stop.
Let it go.
Unless they somehow explain in that film how... I mean, it is organic over, exoskeleton alloy or whatever the hell he says. So I guess the skin portion ages, but I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
It's
I watched the Heroes Reborn reboot.
I did too.
I liked it. I thought it was okay.
It was okay. It just you couldn't capture that first season. I mean, the first season,
even the second season,
first and
couldn't
second
capture
season, the second season was still okay, but it was gliding down towards the middle of the second season. But
I can't remember if it was the second or the third season of that show. They got the writer strike happened right in the middle of it, and it killed them. Like the momentum or the writers or whoever it was, they never recovered from that. Never.
No.
And so there was either a truncated second season which fell apart, or it was the third season which just stopped. I can't remember which it was.
Yeah, I can't remember either. But I just remember after the the Save the Cheerleader, Save the World, the whole bit from the first season.
The first season was great.
I was like, oh my god,
so good.
And then they stuck Hero in like feudal Japan for like 19,000 episodes.
Yeah,
like, what? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it was too much. Good, the time travel. I always liked that, but just no.
Yeah, but it was okay.
But Reborn was okay. It had the feel of that first season,
but it did not do well.
No.
And the thing is, they offered it as a limited, series. There's
really
only 10.
Smart.
Well, because that's saving face.
Yeah.
Because everyone said like, if it does well, it will be back.
Yeah.
But we're calling it a limited return.
Yeah.
So that and
I think that's smart.
Yeah.
I think it's smart. Back to the BBC model. Do 10 of them. Throw them out there and do a story.
If they had said, and we're picking up, and here's season 5. I think they went to 4 seasons on the original.
I think it was only 3, but
I want to say 4.
Okay.
But anyway, we're picking it right. I probably wouldn't have even watched because the last season left such a bad taste. Like, oh, it's limited. It's reborn. It's like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
It's been enough time.
Very smart marketing.
Yep.
They brought back enough of the original characters
for you to have they could get.
Right, yeah. Some of the through lines were like, okay, I get it. I see what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't impress me at all. One show that did impress me that I was very skeptical of, Damien.
Now, is an offshoot of The Omen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It basically takes the events of the original Omen film, negates everything that happened after that.
Because it was the show. He was like an older man,
right? Yeah, exactly. It picks him up in his like early 30s, or late 20s,
which they did in one of the movies, like Omen 3. He was,
I think Sam Neill was Damien in one of those films, or something.
He was like
that.
running for president, or
exactly.
something.
They just negated all of that.
Okay,
they basically said none of those films exist, kind of like I hope Neil Blomkamp will do with
with
aliens, and then nothing else happened, and here's Ripley back, ta-da. So they they tie in heavily with the original Omen film.
Okay.
And at first I'm like, all right, we'll see. And they brought it together pretty smartly. He doesn't know that he's the son of the devil.
Okay.
Or
whatever,
the coming of the Antichrist, or whatever
that's what
the
he
fuck it's supposed to be. And weird things happen around him, and the people that have, for lack of a better term, the cabal, the coven that's been at a distance guiding his life and making sure everything's okay to bring him to the point where he would realize who he is and bring about the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
And they roll it out slowly. They don't pull a bionic woman and have the same, what? I'm the son of of Satan, and here I am.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. He's a nice guy,
mm-hmm.
and he's slowly going, what the hell is going on around me? And they put it together, I thought, very smartly, and they canceled it.
Mm. It sounds like they were trying to leech off the success of Psycho, the Psycho TV series.
Oh, Bates Motel.
Bates Motel.
Very, very well done.
That's what I hear. I've not watched it.
No, I have watched every episode of
and
Bates.
that's what I mean. I think they were trying to go for that same thing.
Well,
and
they're both on A&E. Yeah, see what they did there?
Smart.
Why not?
Give it a shot.
Yeah, well, there's been so many attempts. Oh, there have been sequels, with Anthony Perkins. They did, Psycho 2, 3.
There was a TV
Psycho
one,
on the Road, Psycho Goes to Camp.
What was his name? Henry... What was it? The kid who played Elliot in E.T. played like young Norman Bates in a movie as well. So
there's Robert Bloch lost all ability to control that shit. Of course, he was dead at a certain point. So
right.
A lot of those spin-offs were...
But those properties are strong, and I mean, you can't blame people for trying to make them. I mean, every now and again, you'll get a Bates Motel that works.
Well, you get a show like Bates Motel that were I mean,
an attempt.
And let me tell you, I feel bad for Norman. I see why he is the way he is with a mother like that. Mm-hmm. Holy shit!
Yeah,
but there's enough other storylines going on to where it's not just constantly Norman and mother all the time. It takes place in, I think, the Pacific Northwest, where there's in a town where there's a lot of growing pot. And it's a big business, and there's some gangster stuff, and so there's other stuff going on that's very, very interesting. And I think next season is going to be it for it, because I think they're going to do the 5 and out for Bates Motel. Good, because where they are in the show right now, it's
getting close.
He's already dressing in the mom's clothes.
Yeah.
And conversations with her when she's not there. So you can support that for maybe one more season after that, but I think they're going to wrap it at 5.
Yeah.
Which is smart. I mean, don't overstay don't be Castle.
Yeah.
Because Castle turned into a procedural for a while, which kind of, it was treading water. We're like, oh, okay, here's an interesting death. And let's see if they can solve it, and with little witty things. And it was a vampire. However, Castle does his thing. But with Bates Motel, no, you can't.
Yeah.
If it devolved into Freak of the Week type shit or Murder of the Week or whatever, then I'd be out immediately.
Yeah.
But it's held together. But poor Damien, that was just it was well done. They didn't overdo the satanic stuff. It's so creepy. I mean, obviously there was some stuff.
Yeah.
But they kept it at a reasonable level. They weren't trying to shoot their whole wad in the first.
Which is good, but that's probably what hurt it. They were trying to do, like I said, they were trying to do the Bates Motel, which do a real.
And that makes me wonder, because I think the writing, now the writing on Bates Motel is definitely better, but Damien wasn't too bad at all. What hits and what doesn't? How can you even tell? Because they're comparable in quality.
And it's A&E. I mean, how bad were the numbers?
I don't know. I mean, if I kept track of all my shows and
I just mean in general. Because Bates Motel's not pulling down 20 million viewers. Is it
no show?
Well, other than like Walking Dead. But I mean, that's what I mean. Like, how low could it have been that they canceled it?
Yeah.
Who knows?
What else have you been eyeballing lately that's going away?
Well, I'm looking at your list here, and I didn't realize the Children's Hospital was going away.
But because Rob Corddry said it's time.
Okay.
Not canceled.
Just time to end it.
Time to end it. Just, time to wrap it up and be done with it.
Well, they said, first of all, it was really difficult to do, like just scheduling-wise.
Well, because they have so many people that are actually
really successful now.
Yeah.
I mean, Rob Corddry works all the time.
Right.
Rob Hubel, I mean, Henry Winkler.
Half of the state comes through every
Malin
once in a while.
Ackerman and Lake Bell.
David Wayne directs.
David Wayne, what's her name, Megan Mullally. I mean, it's, they said it was tough to do, but it was their favorite thing to do. But I'm glad Rob Corddry, if they're done, they're done.
Yeah, that's good. Kind of. It seemed to me like they were in the same situation as Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right.
We would like more. You don't want to do more. Okay, we accept it. That's it.
Yeah. Come to think of it, it would be. I wouldn't be surprised if that same troupe started some other weird show.
Oh, good. Well, there was another one. What was it called? SDTC
yes,
taking place in San Diego, which I just loved. Amy Pond.
Yes, Karen Gillan was on
she
it.
Popped
that was
in
Paul Scheer's show.
That was Paul Scheer's show, exactly. Yeah. And that just what's the old captain from Voyager?
Yes, Captain Janeway. Kate Mulgrew. Yeah,
she was on there as like the hard edge,
She had an eye patch, I think.
Yeah, exactly. She had an eye patch. And maybe it was on the right eye, maybe it was on the left eye, but no one ever said anything.
Yeah, it was one of those weird, bizarre Adult Swim shows.
Exactly. And one of the very, very few that doesn't have, what's his name, from Aqua Teen doing a voice.
Oh, Dana Snyder?
Dana Snyder, yeah. He's on Saul the Mole Man, he's on Venture Brothers, he's on Aqua Teen, he's all over the place. And in case anyone's wondering if we're going to talk about Venture Brothers, we're not, because they're not canceled. They just take a long fucking time
in between seasons
to do their shit. And you know what? Fine. If it takes 5 years to deliver the quality, I'll take 5 years.
I don't have a problem with that.
I'd like more, but when you have two guys that are doing the writing and
and half the voices,
exactly,
because Doc Hammer does half the voice.
Exactly. I fully support all of that.
Yeah. Well, we're used to the BBC paradigm, and Doctor Who is not going to be back this year, but it's.
I heard that it was.
No, it's 2017 is what they're saying.
Is that what they're saying?
I mean, they have the companion.
Originally they were saying, I'm going to do some Sherlock, and that'll keep they happy, but we'll wait a year on Doctor. And then I heard, no, we're going to have the Doctor.
No, I've heard that they're going to have Class this season, this spring or this summer, and then they're not going to have new Doctor Who until next season.
All right. And it may be Capaldi's last
maybe not. It's definitely Moffat's last series. And they've got a new companion. They got Pearl Mackie, who the little promo they put out was great, and but that's a whole other show. It's not canceled.
Gee, who thought it might be?
I don't know. We'll have to go back and listen to some old episodes.
Have to check the tapes. Now, another show that was riding high, and they would have loved more, but the creators said enough. The League.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that?
Little bits and pieces. And again, Paul Scheer. It's one of his show he was on.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's his baby.
It was his show.
That show is his baby.
I wasn't positive about that.
And let me tell you, it's about a group of guys that are in a fantasy football league.
Right.
And I have less than zero interest in football reality, let alone fantasy. And aside from what I could gather is maybe one or two jokes per episode, you don't have to know anything about football to
it's just
enjoy
a comedy.
It is just insane. I mean, my God. That's
I've heard interviews with Paul Scheer, and he's like, "Yeah, we're baffled that it's still on the air.
Yeah,
that it keeps coming back."
I mean, the stuff that they come up with, like a season starts, you're like, "There's just no way they're going to be able to top." And then they top it, then they roll it over and top it some more.
Yeah, I've heard that's really a great show.
Yeah, it basically it's kind of the spiritual cousin of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I was
going to say, yeah,
it's kind of like that, except in this case, about half of the guys in the actually most of them are actually somewhat productive humans with jobs, and they do things.
Yeah.
As opposed to at Patty's Pub where they just got the pub, and then I don't know how that bar stays open or how they stay out of jail with the shit they come up with. They've been talking about closing it up, and they're creeping up on I think 10 seasons,
something crazy like that. Yeah.
They said at one point, like, we're going to end it at this point. I can't remember what the point is, but I'm a huge fan of that show.
Yeah, I've watched. Yeah, I haven't watched all of it, but I need to at some point.
One show that I was completely expecting to be canceled, Limitless.
Yeah,
never watched an episode. Looked stupid as shit. For those of you who don't know, Limitless was a film with Bradley Cooper.
Yes.
And I did see the film.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, it's basically there's this pill you can take that, you are able to utilize 100% of your mind. So, you could basically play chess with a grandmaster and kick his ass in 3 moves because you're using all your brain. That's the conceit of that film.
Yep.
Having never watched an episode, but having watched that damn trailer promo for the TV show many times, there's this guy. He doesn't go by the rules, but the FBI needs him to take the limitless pill to help them solve crimes and stuff. And I just said, is it designed just for his biology? Because why not get your best fucking agent and amp him up with a limitless pill and get shit done instead of this guy who goes against the rules and he's cute and maybe, the girls will go for it. I just... Maybe it's explained in the show, but it made no fucking sense to me at all.
I did not watch it. Courtney got, her nephews were watching it.
Yeah.
And she got caught up in it, and she said, it's really good. She said it was good. It was like worth it. And she's not prone to just watching garbage procedurals at all.
All right. Well, maybe there's an explanation in there
But
that satisfies
but
my
it was canceled.
question.
It's
canceled. It's
so
done.
then,
Yeah, I don't.
Why bother?
I care even less now if that
Right.
was even possible. It just, it's like, come on, I need my pill to do this. Like,
yeah, it seemed like a flimsy.
why him?
Yeah,
I'm
sure it was explained. But
I know it was explained, of course. But was it explained in a way like, oh, of course, that makes sense. That guy.
Don't know. Don't know.
But I don't care enough to actually
Right.
watch the debut episode to find out.
Yep.
You just don't really care.
Well, the one show that I'm excited, it was very close to being canceled. Exactly. They did not cancel Supergirl, which makes me very, very happy.
They engaged in a little overzealous breath play and almost killed Supergirl. But then now
they didn't.
It's coming to the.
They put it where it belongs on the CW,
CW,
with Flash and Arrow where it needed to be.
And guess who may not be coming back for season 2?
Callisto?
Yeah.
I was assuming that because they're moving the whole production to Toronto or Vancouver. It's Canada where they do the others.
They have electricity up there,
They do now. Yeah. They use it all to make those
shows. Bring in the
shows.
Supergirl? We'll put in electricity.
Yeah.
We'll even do indoor toilets.
Yeah.
Sorry, Candid. I really love you.
We love Canada.
I've been there many times.
It's just an easy target.
They're not even a real country after all. Sorry. Supergirl now has a flappy head. All right. Stop.
Hey, buddy.
Call me buddy, guy.
Yeah. It's part of the Greg Berlanti universe, and it was ambitious to put it on CBS. It really was.
Yeah, because that's the octogenarian network. I mean, I know you got Big Bang Theory, but you also have nothing else.
Nothing else.
I mean, I can't think of a single other. I watch Big Bang Theory. It's kind of lowbrow, highbrow at the same time.
Yeah,
but it's good for a laugh.
Yeah, it's funny.
But I can't think of a goddamn other show that I watch that is
the only one we watched, and we only fell off because we got behind, was NCIS, the original one. It was good. For a procedural, it was good. It was better than most.
How many crimes happens with the fucking Navy?
More than you.
Apparently.
A startling amount.
I mean, good God. If we go to war, I'll be like, don't send the Navy in. They're full of murderers and thieves. And
right.
But
Supergirl was not pulling down CBS numbers. It was pulling down CW numbers. And they got the boost when they crossed over with Flash.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only way it can work is that, or no, they'll figure out how to make it work. But if they've moved it to the CW, and if they can just shoot her into his universe because she wasn't, and that was the whole crossover thing.
Because he can go to her universe, she cannot go to his.
Right.
Unless they invent a power, like in
no.
Like in the second, was it the second? Yeah, the second Superman. I'm very angry. Lois is dead. I'm going to fly around the world. It's like, hey, Superman, General Zod's destroy. You want to do that flying around the Earth again? No. I'll just destroy half of Metropolis while defeating them, but that's okay.
Right. Well, they were very smart in Flash in the first season at the end of the second season, I should say. They busted open the dimensional walls and opened up the door to the multiverse. So there's Earth 2, Earth 3. And Flash has been jumping back and forth between Earth 1 and Earth 2 all season. And it's been really great.
And he has a girlfriend in every universe.
Every Earth. And that was the thing in the crossover. He was trying to, even though they fucked it up and they got the episodes out of line, but he was trying to up his speed to be able to defeat the villain in that season, and he was using a thing, and it was able to bust through the dimensions, and he got to Kara's Earth, whichever one it was. They never numbered it. And it was great. It was so much fun.
Check the tag at one of the polls.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just happy it didn't go away and I'm glad it's where it belongs. Instead of them just shit canning it, they gave it to Berlanti and said, okay, we'll put it on CW and let it work. And now there's going to be already they said there's going to be a 4-part crossover there's going to be a crossover between Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow, which that show needs to get its shit together. It's
not going to last another series.
They already got renewed for season 2, but it's.
I'm saying it's not going to last.
It's
past
not going to last
2
that
if it doesn't,
because it's just not good. Well, it's not bad, but it's just not as good as the other 3. So
yeah. Well, I'm all for DC trying to get its shit together. I mean, Marvel owns films. If DC can get their shit together on television, then
they own it right now. I mean, Marvel's only got. Well, no.
Daredevil and Jessica Jones are fucking. I mean, those are top notch television shows. I don't care, if it's
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is good.
If it's not done in the theater and if it's done in 1 hour format, it's a television show. Whether it's broadcast or streamed or whatever, it's television.
Yep.
And between Jessica Jones and Daredevil, it's like mic drop. Nothing that DC's doing is even close to that.
And they've got Luke Cage coming, and they've got Iron Fist coming. So
we'll see.
And Punisher and Defenders, so they've got that shit locked up too. So yeah, DC has got to keep this shit going on the CW stuff and acknowledge it in the goddamn movies, but that's a whole other.
Yeah, they need a Kevin Feige that branches, between film and television.
Not to go off on this rabbit hole, but Jeff Johns, who is a comic writer for many, many years, is now kind of in charge, and
Kevin Feige in charge, or
yes, he's getting to that point. They kind of realized what they've done because they wanted to let the creators and let the directors kind of, they wanted to do the opposite of Marvel, which is what they always do, and they wanted to let the creators kind of massage things and let the creators have the freedom of I want to make this movie, which is great, but if they were trying to compete, they needed a vision. They needed someone to rein it in and keep it.
They need someone like Kevin Feige to put up 4 walls and a roof, and then let the directors and writers decorate the way.
Exactly.
You've got your structure that has to be there so that there's a continuous line throughout everything, but let's decorate this in mid-century modern, and let's make this a bamboo hut or whatever.
So Jeff Johns is kind of taking over the reins of DC's extended universe, and from all accounts on the set of Justice League, Affleck is now an executive producer.
Is it filming already?
Oh yeah. Justice League is filming.
Too soon. Hashtag too soon.
The rumor on the set is that he was so pissed at how the reception of Batman v Superman that Affleck is slowly trying to edge Zack Snyder out.
Good.
Yeah, let Jeff Johns and Affleck actually put it together.
Because Batman v Superman was a fucking mess, in my opinion.
It was a mess. It had
moments. It had moments where I thought, "Oh, that's cool," but then the next moment, like, why do they? Let's not. We've already done that episode. Right. Let's not. It's like Lucas, Snyder, you keep hurting me. Fuck you. Speaking of hurting, this show that was canceled this year was the only way I was able to keep in touch with the reality show Zeitgeist.
Okay.
The Soup.
No
idea why they canceled it. I can't imagine the budget. It was just him coming in and talking off a script, and maybe they had to pay for the clip. I don't understand.
No, maybe it was him. Maybe he was like,
he did. He was fine doing it.
Really?
He liked it so much that even while he was like, I'm now in my 3rd season of Community, I'm still not giving it up. Huh. He never gave up the Soup.
Okay.
And
that is weird.
That's the only way that I even know that there are housewives that are doing things on TV.
Yeah.
Because I will never watch any of those. Like, there are no shows that
You are
that
not the father.
Right.
Yeah.
Never. I mean, they might dip into one scripted show every now and again for like a funny little bit, but it's all making fun of game shows, talk shows, and reality shows. And the comedy was sometimes lowbrow and stupid, and other times it was very clever. The Walking Dead, they actually did a parody of The Walking Dead with like 3 of the actual actors in there. Where
that was
zombies
so
took over.
Great.
It was just like lowbrow, stupid, fun humor that I can't imagine had that big of a budget. That they moved it to, I think, Friday nights, and I think that's what killed it. Because who the fuck watches on a Friday night? Oh, they DVR it.
Yeah,
I mean that's what I did. I never watched TV
watch it on Sunday morning.
Yeah. So, and that sucks because he picks out all the stupid, weird stuff out of the reality stuff that people talk about and riff on it. Now I know about it, so I feel like I'm informed. I can talk to, I don't want to say the lesser people of the world, but people that watch a lot of reality TV. I'm sure they're awesome people. I'm sure I know many of them.
At least you will get
lovely.
what they're talking about.
I will understand
know
exactly
what show they're referencing.
Exactly. As I'm talking about, well, there are 5 Infinity Stones, and then and then they give me the same look as I give them when they talk about, oh, wow, did you see what Shaniqua did on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Like, I don't care. No. I don't care if they're fake housewives. I just don't want any interest in that. So that was a huge loss.
That's baffling.
Because that was funny. But I can't remember. God damn it! What's his name?
McHale.
Joel McHale. That's it. He's already cast on some other show that's premiering in the fall. Can't remember the name of it, but I'll keep an eyeball out for it. We'll see. I mean, if it works for his kind of humor. He was in a film recently where I just thought he's not really right for this role. I mean, I'm so used to him being this. I mean, he could jump into Chris Pratt's role in Guardians and be just fine with a whip, snappy repartee. He needs a role like that, or like a Jeff Winger role. From
what I understand, and this is kind of brilliant casting, they're doing that biopic of the creator of National Lampoon. You've heard about that?
Oh, I've not.
They're doing. He wrote a book. What was it called?
Buy This Book or the Dog Gets It? No.
Almost. Yeah. No. It's brilliant. Something dead. Something like that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Supposedly, Joel has been cast as Chevy Chase.
Oh my God!
Supposedly that's what I've heard.
That would be so genius.
Genius. Like the cast list for this thing has been like I think Paul Scheer was cast as Paul Schaefer, and I can't remember. The casting has been spot on like that. But
for those of you that roll your eyes when we say National Lampoon, you're thinking of the later '80s and everything just about
all these direct-to-video bullshit
fest.
Sequels to
but
garbage.
National Lampoon is, without National Lampoon, there would be no SNL, or if there was, it would be missing almost its entire first season cast.
Well, there would be no,
because Lorne Michaels pulled it out of Second City and out of the Groundlings and National Lampoon,
right? But there would be no Ghostbusters. There would be no Caddyshack. There would be no Blues Brothers. There would be no of the classic '80s comedies.
National Lampoon's Vacation.
A
classic comedy.
Yeah.
So they definitely devalued their brand later on. Although was Van Wilder a National Lampoon?
Yeah.
That actually was,
Yeah, but they made like 3 crappy
sequels. Yeah, well,
that's where people like, National Lampoon. Yeah.
Right, and that's the thing. They
10 American Pie movies.
Yeah, where the only person back is like Eugene Levy. Yeah. Like really? Were we watching that film for Eugene Levy? Even no.
Good for him though, for taking a gig. I have no problem with that.
He's one of the old school guys too. I think,
absolutely.
I think he's second. I think he's Second City.
He's Second City. Yeah.
So that's interesting to hear. All right, yep. I'm all for seeing what Jeff Winger does next. And we got our 6 seasons. Where's our movie? Couple other shows I want to talk about. The first one, House of Lies. You ever watch that?
I didn't. As a Showtime deal with Don Cheadle and
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell.
Oh, her character Jeannie is just whip smart, sassy, sexy.
Just like her. She's fantastic. You know?
Yeah. Get her in a room with a sloth. And
yeah, if you haven't seen that video, just look it up.
Just type in Kristen Bell sloth in YouTube and be prepared just to, and I never really thought much about sloths before, but they are adorable. They're just kind of chill. I don't think I'd sense, her slothy sense. Like, is there a sloth in the house? Oh my God! But anyway, it's about corporate management, like a company that wants to expand or they're struggling. They bring in a team, which is Marty Kahn and Associates. Don Cheadle's character is Marty Kahn, to come in, look at the books, look at the marketing, and go, you need to diversify into this, or you need to stop doing this, and they get paid fees out the ass, like in the millions of dollars. Like they can negotiate some merger of a company and walk away with, $200 million for orchestrating it. That's what they do. And it's all about the relationship between, the members of this team and what goes on, and it's actually a pretty darn good show. One of the things that they do, one of the little tricks they do, is that at certain moments, Don Cheadle's character will just go, stop, and everything in the room freezes. Even if something's in midair, it stops, and he breaks the fourth wall and has a little talk with the audience.
So
like,
kind of
this guy over here, his dick is so small that he has to blah, 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 and talk about, and and then he's like, all right, and then he goes back to where he was. Here we go. Boom, and we're back again.
So it was kind of a Saved by the Bell.
I don't know that reference. I literally, is that what they did in Saved by the Bell?
Yes.
I've never watched a single episode of that show.
Yeah. Well, as a kid, I watched a little bit of it, but yes, that's what they would do.
The closest I've ever come to watching anything related to Saved by the Bell is Showgirl. Dear God, one of the worst films ever on the planet.
Yes, had nothing to do with.
Well, not related by cast, but by the actors.
Yeah.
And wasn't what's his name on the bitch in Don't Talk to the Bitch in Apartment?
No, that wasn't.
Oh, that's Dawson's Creek.
That was Vanderbeek. Yeah,
that was the other one, The Beak.
Yeah.
So yeah, that show apparently it's still running. I think it has 1 or 2 more episodes, and then apparently it's out. So hopefully they wrote it. It lasted like 4 or 5 seasons. So well done.
Well, I forgot. There's one other show I want to talk about, which we should talk about before that got canceled. Agent Carter.
Yeah. See, I never watched that.
It was great. It was really good, and it was really good to have a female-centric role model. Especially in the 40s or whenever it was.
Joss Whedon has said, "I'm done with Marvel unless." Oh, I can do a female-centric film?
Yep.
Then we can talk.
Yeah. Like we said, Black Widow, you get your Black Widow, get your Captain Marvel, get your
Captain Marvel's on the
Witch.
books. I don't know if they've already attached a director.
It's been kind of bumped around.
Okay.
With it's been on the books for a while, and it keeps getting kind of shoved back. But Black Widow needs a movie. She needs her own. She needs to be the star of a movie. And they're talking about female Avengers.
And man, they're going to have to do some brilliant writing to make me interested in a Hawkeye film. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and that's not even.
I just have no interest.
Nah, nobody does.
But, nobody cares.
Yeah, but Agent Carter was really well done, and Haley Atwell is amazing.
Well, they killed her off in Civil War.
Yeah, but she was.
But she was already old.
Yeah, at that point. So, but that's one that we were.
Oh, Agent Carter. Well, what did it last? 1 season or 2?
2. They did 2, and they were truncated too. They were also like 10-episode deals, and but.
Well, I'm guessing with these larger production budget requirements, that amount of money on a show that doesn't require that much, you could stretch it to 13 to 17 episodes. But when you got a high post-production,
But 10 was enough. That was the thing. 10 was great. Yeah, they would tell a story, and that was it. And instead of, again, it's a Marvel property. Why you just suck it up? Just give it to it.
I'm sorry. Are the billions you made off the Avengers and Guardians
not
and
enough
Ant-Man,
to,
can't you pat? That's how it works at record labels. I mean, you put out let's say 100 records in a year, 3 of them are big hits.
Yeah.
Then you have a couple middling ones, and the other 70 or so are huge failures. But guess what? Everyone makes money because of those 3 big ones. They make it available. You know, there's money available for other things to be put out.
And imagine what they could do with 25 big ones,
like they have,
like
Marvel
have
has, right?
Disney.
I mean, they basically could just release Guardians next year and do nothing else,
right?
And probably be in just. So, the last show I want to talk about was highly anticipated, and I enjoyed it, but it was probably a little too dense. The Bastard Executioner on FX. This is Kurt Suttler's Sutter.
I think it
is Sutter. No, I think you're
Sutter,
right. Sutter. It's his follow-up project, not a sequel anyway. It's just his next project he worked on after Sons of Anarchy, and it was okay. It was good. It had little bits of Braveheart in it. It takes place in, oh dear God, 15th century Wales. So right there, you know, half of America goes, Wales? What? I don't get
where even is that?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, some people in England, like, I don't even know where Wales is. Just look for the string of 47 consonants and follow the arrow, and that'll take you to Wales. I enjoyed it. It was okay. Whatever his name is, the one who always said "suke" in True Blood, Bill somebody, the one that's married to Anna Paquin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, I love you, suke.
Right.
He plays a major character in there, and he's a total dick. And so he's definitely going against his somewhat evil at times, but mostly a nice guy character in True Blood.
Yeah.
To where he's pretty much a dick most of the time. And one of the greatest twists, he's totally gay. I mean, I never saw that. It's like, oh my God, he's kissing. Oh my gosh, he's bending that guy over. And I'm like, all right.
Which, good for television.
Yeah. Yes, for those of you out there, homosexuality was not invented during free love in the 60s, man. Take the drugs, and all of a sudden that
was not created by the government, by Nixon's government to
put it in the water and make them all gay. And it was okay. It was a good show. One of the things that was very out of place was he cast his wife.
Yeah.
Who is
her name just flew out of my head. Leela. Katie Seagal.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a old, don't want to say witch, but like a
seer,
a seer, a mystic, or whatever.
Yeah.
Her accent was. God, I mean, she can do no wrong in my book because she's amazing. She got very close to doing wrong in there. But one of the very interesting conceits is that the lost books of the Bible were tattooed on the backs of some of these monks. And the Catholic Church was trying to find them because they're burning paper copies of it. They're killing anyone who knows about it.
Right.
But they know about these certain people that have these books tattooed on their body. So they're ripping off clothes to look for it because we can't have any other words of God other than what we say is the word of God, which plays into all the whole, Christianity, not exactly what you think it is. And so that was an interesting subplot. And one of the interesting things in there was that Matthew Rhys has a minor role as like a rebel commander in there that's against the Crown's influence in Wales. Because obviously England being dicks again, we're being dicks up in Scotland, and it's we're being dicks in Northern Ireland, big dicks in Northern. And guess what? We left one country out. We're going to be dicks in Wales.
Yeah.
So, and he plays a rebel in there. And one of the interesting things that I was really hoping for, there's another show that he is on called The Americans, and rumor has it there was going to be a crossover where
medication time. Medication time.
We ran out of time. I will tell you next week.
The 9 Billion Names of Pod was conceived, written, and performed by Micah Reed and Dan Bauman, with Abdul Beni Hassan as the sound of splintering wood. Research, transportation, and exasperated looks by Courtney Lohner. Technical assistance by Cubase, Pro Tools, Skynet, QLab, Deep Thought, Big Brother, and Eddie, your shipboard computer. Financial consideration provided by the Wayne Foundation, Stark Industries, the Braun Brothers, and LexCorp. Legal counsel by the Office of Howard and Fine. Fozzie didn't even know they were canceled. Our intro music was written by Tim Akers. This podcast was sponsored by Deep Shack Records and is a production of Audio Primate. Throw us a couple stars on iTunes, why don't you? Check us out on dadsgarageradio.net. Listen, watch on YouTube. Listen on SoundCloud. Stream us on Stitcher. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Or email us. comlink@billionpod.com. Until this happens again, I'm Dan Bauman.
I'm Michael Reed.
Allons-y!
Audio Primate.